Talk about that X Factor. Chiro and Gav are in the house. I said, please guys, the next time you come through, bring 2 models with you. So you brought 2 new models, but I think we lost a little in translation here, guys. Yes. Gentlemen, first of all, come Chiro, let's give him a little victory lap clap. Welcome back, sunshine.
Yes, and the first car we're talking about is the Suzuki Grand Vitara, which I must add is the perfect car to drive after a knee operation.
Is it grand, though?
It is grand because it's bigger than the normal Vitara. So the great thing is that it's high up, because that's why it's grand. So I could actually get in quite easily, and with my inflexible knee, I could sort of launch myself into the seat.
Inflexible will.
Yeah, I mean, look out, that's as far as it goes. So you know,
they definitely designed the car for Gav after an up. That's what they thought.
It's basically a recovery vehicle.
That's one of the. It's not a search and recovery vehicle. It's just a recovery vehicle.
Exactly. And I mean, just looking at it there, I think that it's genuinely in its own segment. This car, we can't think of anything that quite is the same as this, except maybe the Subaru Forester. But as Chiro pointed out, the Forester doesn't have low range, so this is a permanent 4-wheel drive with low range. So if you want a compact 4-wheel drive, this is pretty much your only option. And it's an absolutely fantastic car. And as you can see from these pictures, I mean, it's a good-looking car as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with a box. But
like your burgundy sweater and your burgundy car.
Yeah, the one I had was silver. But anyway,
good-looking box that.
It is absolutely.
It's very cool. And I would imagine being Suzuki, it's not going to be overpriced.
Absolutely. I mean, it's 300,000 rand, and beneath that sort of leafy suburban exterior, it's a proper off-roader. We've taken them on some dunes, and they're so light. They sort of kind of skip across things rather than getting.
So every 4x4 manufacturer wants to hear that term. It skips. It kind of skips.
Yes, exactly.
It floats across. It wafts across the terrain. But that's awesome. That's an inspiring little cabbie.
That's a great car. And as Suzukis, they just always feel like those cars that sort of endear themselves to you. They feel like they'll be part of the family, which is very you don't often find it these days. But we
got that Labrador factor.
Yeah, exactly.
Part of the family.
Yeah, we big fans. Yeah.
Cool, man. Now, our second model that you brought me today.
Yeah. So I've been driving the new Beetle, or as Volkswagen would like you to refer to it as, the 21st century Beetle. Okay. So this is their 3rd incarnation, and you know, as soon as you get in, you realize it's not like the original, because you don't feel like you're about to have a horrible accident.
Yeah. no one's push starting you from the water. No, they're a stalwart.
That first thing, incredible reliability. My uncle had one that did 600,000 kilometers, but my goodness, were they hard work to drive.
There was a big gap between the first one and the second one, and now this is the 3rd incarnation.
Just 3 generations in between the 2, you know?
Absolutely.
So I think we have to compliment Volkswagen on the design. I got nothing but gushing compliments driving around in this car, and quite surprisingly, people didn't know what it was, which is quite interesting.
That is bizarre.
Well, in the age of the concept car, you know, it really does look quite sporty.
But I mean, it does look great. I know the Beetle before this was popular for about 2 weeks. Everyone went mad about it, and then it just kind of, it's one of those
That's the problem
moments.
With retro, hey?
Exactly, exactly.
So, is it a 21st century Beetle? Does it live up to that title?
Okay, so all the oily bits underneath are basically shared across the Volkswagen, Audi, Skoda range. So if you're used to like all those sort of modern cars, it feels pretty much the same, but that's not a bad thing. Because this range of Volkswagen's great. It's really comfortable ride, and it manages to be sporting at the same time. Which is what a lot of manufacturers don't get right, actually. Some cars just feel too hard over the bumps and over road imperfections. But I really enjoyed it. I think they gave us a nice highly spec'd one, exactly as you see it on the TV there.
You had
with the whale tail and
TFSI.
Yeah. So spoiler like us, man.
I was quite surprised by the engine. Hey, 1.4 liters TFSI. It's got some really clever plumbing, so it's got a supercharger and a turbocharger. And I think TFSI should stand for this feels surprisingly instant, because you don't actually feel any lag at all. I was really impressed. And it's quite a big
who should be driving this car? Other than
good question. You see now, I mean, we could throw this one at you. The last one was, we felt a bit of a girl's car.
Well, it came with a vase.
So why are you throwing it to me then? What's
well, would you buy that, Graham? Would you drive around in that?
Oh, those are 2 very different questions. Okay. If my girlfriend had one, okay, maybe I would drive her car
to the shops.
No, it looks very funky, and I think the thing with Volkswagen, you know the support is going to be there. You know they're going to look after you, and like you say, you are dealing with engineers who are working on Audis, who are working on other Volkswagens.
So mechanically, it's going to look, it's going to be brilliant, and it looks great as well. So
the People's car is now only for people with 235,000 rand if you want the base model, and if you want that one, that's 300,000 without next
Well,
week.
since you scoffed at the base model there, I'll pump it up to the top of the range. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Gav, good to have you back, boy.
Great to be back. Thanks, everyone.
Awesome to have you now. Hilary Biller, she has really blown our minds with some festive season treats. You know, that is a creative well that overfloweth, and this morning she's got some great ideas for us. Time to get back into the kitchen.
With a range of quality products guaranteed nationally, you will always find there's so much more to Midas.